Hello viewers, I am Mr. Dilip Kumar Pal, stand before you with a topic, vulnerable child, its meaning and factors associated with it. It is found in +3 5th semester Ethics and Value paper, and the name of the paper is Vulnerable Sections of Society, Understanding Their Issues. Before I start, what is the meaning of vulnerable child and factors associated with it? I want to inform my viewers that name of my channel is @Dilip Kumar Pal 9375, where you will find videos of +3 first semester Politics Honours up to +3 6th semester Politics Honours, videos of +3 first semester Ethics and Values up to +3 5th semester Ethics and Values, videos of Political Science General Elective from +3 first semester to 2nd semester, and Environmental Studies paper of +3 first semester, and some videos of +2 first year, +2 second year relating to only political science. And I want to inform my viewers that any topic you want, just write the name of the topic, paper and my name in Google and YouTube, you'll get all videos. Let us start. Vulnerable child. What is the meaning of vulnerable child? Let us start. Today's child is tomorrow's future. So, for a better nation, healthy children, both physically and mentally, are very much required. But there are various problems relating to children which are obstacle for their growth. Among problems relating to growth of children, the problem relating to their vulnerability or vulnerable child is a major issue. Children of today, they are the future of tomorrow of a country. So, better the children will be, better the future of a country will be. So, better children are required. But for the physical and mental development of children, there are many problems. And problems relating to mental and physical development of children, one of the major problems is vulnerability of children or vulnerable children. So, vulnerability of children or vulnerable children is a major problem for the physical and mental development of children, and it poses a problem for a country, because if there will be better citizens, if there will be better children, there will be better citizens for a country. So what is the meaning of vulnerable citizen or vulnerability of citizens? Meaning of vulnerable citizen. According to WHO, World Health Organization, and UNICEF, United Nations International Children Emergency Fund, vulnerability is the state or condition of being weak and poorly defended. It means someone who is weak and without protection, with the result that they are easily hurt physically and emotionally and are more exposed to risks in comparison to others. In the same way, vulnerable children are those who are deprived from food, nutrition, education, parental care, proper medication, etc., face more problems and risks than their peer groups, families. So, vulnerable children or vulnerability children means, according to WHO, World Health Organization, and UNICEF, United Nations International Children Emergency Fund, vulnerability is the state or condition of being weak and poorly defended. According to WHO and UNICEF, vulnerable children are those who are weak and they are poorly defended. They are weak in one hand and there is nobody to protect them. So, as they are weak and there is nobody to protect them, they are easily subject to various types of injuries, various types of problems, various types of exploitation. So, vulnerable children are those who are very weak. They do not have support. There is nobody to defend them. So, they develop by themselves. As they are weak and nobody is there to protect them, nobody is there to defend them, they develop by themselves. So, they are easily injured, exploited, and harmed by different sources. They are the vulnerable children. It means someone who is weak and without protection, with the result that they are easily hurt physically and emotionally and are more exposed to risk in comparison to others. As vulnerable children are weak, there is nobody to protect them, there is nobody to defend them. So, they develop by themselves. So, they are easily hurt physically, emotionally. They are tortured. They are injured. They are insulted. They are exploited. So, there are more risks on them for exploitation, injury in comparison to children of their age or peer group who are in better families. In the same way, vulnerable children are those who are deprived from food, nutrition, education, parental care, proper medication, etc. Face more problem and risks than their peer groups or children of some same group of economically better family. In the same way, vulnerable children are those who are deprived from food. They do not have food. Nutrition, vitamin food. Education. Parental care of father and mother. Proper medications. They do not have proper medicines. Face more problems and risks than their peer groups. Then children of their age or children of same group of economically better families. So, vulnerable children are those who are very weak. There is nobody to protect them. There is nobody to defend them. They are very poor. They develop by themselves. They do not have good food, education, parental care. So, they develop by themselves. So, if they develop by themselves, there is nobody to protect them, nobody to defend them. There are more risks on them to be exploited, injured, and harmed. For example, due to nutritious food, lack of good food, they suffer from different type of diseases. As they do not have good food, nutritious food, they suffer from different type of diseases. By this, they become vulnerable. Due to lack of parental care, they do not have mental and physical development. As they do not have parental care, they do not have physical and mental development. It is a cause to make them vulnerable, to make them weak. Due to lack of education, if they do not have education, they do not have mental development. As they do not have education, they do not have mental development. When they do not have mental development, again they will become weak and vulnerable. Due to lack of protective power, they cannot protect themselves. They are tortured physically and mentally as well as abused. As they do not have protective power, they are tortured physically, mentally, abused. Due to poverty, they are engaged in different works where they are given jobs like elders. Due to poverty, they are engaged in different type of works, the work which are meant for adults. So, vulnerable child are those who are weak, do not have support to develop like children of their age of economically better family. So, vulnerable children are those who are weak, who do not have, there is nobody to protect them, there is nobody to defend them. So, they develop by themselves. So, they are harassed in the society. As they do not have good food, nutritious food, they suffer from different diseases. By suffering different type of diseases, they show mental and physical disorder. They do not have good education, so they are engaged in stressful jobs which are meant for adults. They are tortured there. As they do not have parental care, they do not have mental and physical development. So, due to this, they suffer from different type of mental and physical disorder. Examples of vulnerable children are child labor, street children, orphans, those who do not have parents, disabled, physically and mentally, diseased, children engaged in war. Children those are engaged in war forcefully, they are all the examples of vulnerable children. So, vulnerable children are those who are weak, lack of support and protection, and they are easily hurt, abused, tortured, and easily affected by diseases which affect their mental and physical development. So, vulnerable children are those who are very weak. They do not have, there is nobody to protect them, there is nobody to defend them. So they develop by themselves. When they develop by themselves and there is nobody to protect them, there is nobody to defend them, they develop by themselves. So, they suffer from different type of exploitation, injury, humiliation, exploitation in the society. So, examples are street children, child labor, orphans, those who don't have parents, diseased persons, disabled person. They are the example of vulnerable child. So, vulnerable children are those who are weak. There is nobody to defend them, there is nobody to protect them. They grow by themselves. So, they are harassed in society. As they do not have good food, they suffer from different diseases. It leads to their mental and physical disorder. As they do not have good education, they are engaged in stressful jobs. It strikes their mental and physical development. As they do not have parental care, they will not have physical and mental development. It develops their physical and mental disorder. So, vulnerable children are those who are weak. There is nobody to protect them, there is nobody to defend them. They are neglected in comparison to children of their group who belong to the better family. So, we are clear about the vulnerable children. Now, discuss factors responsible with vulnerable children. Which factors made them vulnerable? Number one, which factors make them bad, vulnerable, to make their condition precarious? What are the factors? They will not become vulnerable by themselves. Some factors are responsible to make them vulnerable. Bad. Number one, physical factors. Physical factors are highly responsible for vulnerable children. Physical factors are responsible to make children vulnerable. How? As vulnerable children do not belong to economically better families, they do not have nutritional food and grow in unhealthy conditions, develop mental and physical problems like speech defect, weak health, mental and physical disorder. So they face this problem more than children of economically better families. So first factor which is responsible to make children vulnerable is physical conditions. As they belong to poor families, they do not have nutritious food, they do not have hygienic conditions. So it affects their mental and physical development. Due to lack of nutritious food, good hygienic conditions, and due to this they develop mental and physical disorder. It affects their sense system. It affects their speech system, sense system, and mental development. They face this problem more than children of economically better family. So, those children who belong to poor families, as they do not have nutritious food, hygienic conditions, it affects their mental development, physical development. So they develop different type of disorders more than children of their age who belong to the economically better families. Number two, economic factors. Economic factor also responsible for vulnerable child. If economic conditions of family is not good, better food, cloth, education facilities are not available, are not provided, it affects their mental and physical growth and create many type of disability or disorder among them. Another factor which is responsible for vulnerable children is the economic condition. If children of poor families do not have good education, do not have good food, and do not have hygienic conditions, and their basic needs are not fulfilled, it leads to their mental and physical disorder. They face more problem than children of their age who belong to economically better families. Number three, environmental factor also responsible for vulnerable child. How? Due to various environmental factors like climate change, pollution, agriculture is affected, and price rise occurs, which affect more to poor people, and it leads to disease in them and their children. By this, vulnerable children are created. For the vulnerable children, environment factor is also responsible. Due to various environmental factors like climate change, then untimely rain, high heat waves, agricultural production is hampered. When agricultural production is hampered, there is price rise. Whenever there will be price rise, children of poor families will not be able to purchase nutritious food. So, as they take substandard foods, they will not have mental and physical development. It will create diseases among them and they become vulnerable. Then social factor. Society also responsible for creating vulnerable child. Society is also responsible for creating vulnerable child. How? Our children of poor families lack education and better economic conditions, are engaged in stressful jobs, and they are abused, exploited, given jobs which are meant for adults. It affects their body and mind and create many disabilities and disorder in them. Another factor which is responsible to make children vulnerable is the social factor. As children of poor families are under poverty, they are unable to give good food to their children. So, parents of poor family are forced to engage their children in different type of stressful jobs. And in the stressful jobs, they are overburdened. They perform those functions which are meant for adults. And in the job, they are exploited, harassed, sometimes tortured physically and mentally. And sometimes they are insulted, abused. And it creates tension in them. And tension leads to mental disorder and physical disorder. So, in this video we discussed meaning of vulnerable child and causes responsible for making vulnerable child. I request my viewers to subscribe my channel if you have not subscribed. And today is the good day because we have started Ethics and Values of +3 each semester. I request my viewers to subscribe my channel and aware of your friends to subscribe my channel so some students will be benefited. By giving help to anybody, there will not be any loss to you. Help to others is service to society. Help to human beings is help to God. Thank you. Have a good day.